So I tried stitching this video, but the sound didn't come on, so I'm gonna have to just do this video this way. But I want to give my perspective and opinion on the Assad sisters because I have been seeing this flooding through my timeline, and I have my perspectives on it, and I want to just share this with you to see if we on the same page. So anyway, with going with this whole like celebrity blacklist, like we're blocking all of those like A-list celebrities that were at the Met Gala and don't give a fuck about people, like the Kardashians, the Jenners, Taylor Swift, yada yada, J-Lo, anyway. But it's at a point now where we're realizing not only do we have to block these celebrities that don't give a fuck about us, but we also need to block these influencers that are not really for the people anyway. They want to pose that they're for the people, but they're really not for the people. And one of those people, or a group of people that people are talking about, are the Assad sisters, which are that whole family, if you know about them, where these group of sisters are half Palestinian, Arab, and half white. So the thing is, they have a Palestinian father and they have a white mother. So with this, basically, with the fact that they have a white mother, they have basically been living white privilege their entire life because their white mother is their shield for a lot of prejudice, a lot of discrimination, a lot of that other shit. Like, I don't feel like these girls have ever, like these women, sorry, I don't think these women have ever gone through something that has been like, where they really experience prejudice or racism or discrimination, because when you look at these women, you see white. All you see is white people. Like, you wouldn't think that they are half brown, that they're mixed with brown. You wouldn't think that because they look so white. And a lot of times when you have mixed babies, sometimes they will take more of the black parent or the brown parent, or sometimes they will take more of the white parent, and in this case, they took more of the white parent. So when you see these girls, they look white. And because they have a white mother, she has been their shield. She has been, they've been able to live this white privilege lifestyle their whole entire lives. Not only that, but they also have the privilege of wealth because they have their wealthy, rich, Arab Palestinian father. Now, a lot of Arabs tend to be very wealthy because of how they do their money and everything. Like, that's wonderful. Like, that's just a cultural thing within them. So they've been able to profit off their rich Arab daddy's money, and then they also get the privilege of having a white mother, but they have this white privilege. So what that goes to show you is that their whole entire life, they have been privileged. They've been privileged with money and wealth, and they've also been privileged with having a white mother of the white privilege. That's a whole, let me tell you something. Having white privilege is a whole different ballpark, baby. Because there are people of color that have the privilege of money, like black and brown people that can be rich and wealthy, but they still can go through discrimination and prejudice and all this kind of stuff and racism because they are a person of color. But the fact that you are wealthy and you have money and you're white, baby, that's like, you got fucking... You realize how it's like it makes your life easier. It makes their lives easier. And I feel like their lives have probably been easy for most of their life because they've always had everything. They've always had this money and they've always had their white privilege. So their whole entire life has been privileged. They don't understand struggle. They don't understand survival. They don't understand what it's like to really go through struggle and all that shit because they've never really had to experience it. They've been shielded from a lot of that kind of stuff. And when you have people that have lived privilege their whole life, they live in this little bubble. This whole little bubble where only they exist and they only think that the things in their world exist and everything outside of them is just completely separate from them. That's the mindset they're in. And I just feel like these girls, because of how they've been raised and how they've been brought up, they're not even aware of how much privilege they actually have and how much they've been shielded from a lot of the fucked up shit that's really happening in this world. And I feel like with all this backlash that's coming to them, they're not really, I don't feel like they genuinely understand why everyone's so mad and why everyone's so pissed and why everyone's just trying to cancel them, basically. Well, honestly, they're being canceled. Let's just put it there, be fucking for real. Like, they probably don't understand why they're being canceled in this way because they just genuinely don't understand how much privilege they have actually had in this situation. But the thing about it is, I also want to say that I feel like in a part of it, here's what honestly, part of it, they may be aware of what they're doing, but at the same time, they may not be, okay? Because think about it. Like, if all they've known is privilege, if all they have known is having money and having this white privilege lifestyle where every single time they step out, people think they're white, so they treat you like they're white. They treat you like white people, you know what I'm saying? Because whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if they didn't always have their dad with them, they still were treated differently by other people because they are white, right? But I feel like what happens with them is the fact that they have always used their white privilege and they use that to their advantage. They use it to get their brand deals and, being, like these people are being like sponsored by Sephora and all that other kind of stuff. But they also use their brown father, their Palestinian, blood within them, that they're half Palestinian. They use that to their advantage when it's beneficial to them. It's like, I'll go ahead and pick up the fact that I'm half Palestinian, I'm half brown, I'm mixed with Arab when it's beneficial to me so I can get some type of, recognition. But at the same time, I'll neglect that when it's not beneficial to me. And I'll go ahead over here on the other side and use my white privilege that I've been able to have this entire time, my whole entire life, and I haven't had to understand the type of struggle. Like, yes, they understand they are half Palestinian, but they probably don't understand the Palestinian struggle because they probably never had to deal with the Palestinian struggle. So yeah, I think that is a lot of it. And another thing about how they're talking about how the whole influencer thing is their livelihood. Be fucking for real. They had a rich ass daddy that they've inherited this wealth from. You know what I'm saying? And they've also, all three of them are married to Muslim men, and Muslim men their whole purpose is, Muslim men are very just providers for their wives. They provide everything, 100% of their wives' needs, wants, income. Like, they provide everything. So even if they didn't do what they did, their husbands are providing everything for them. So really, it's not like they're using that money or need that for that's just extra money for themselves, honestly. But I think when people have lived privilege for so long and they've always been used to just having so much money, that just one little bit of money that can be possibly taken away from them feels like the end of the world to them but they don't even realize how much money they already have. It's like rich people are like, have all this money that can last them a lifetime. They don't have to worry about shit, and they're worried about more money being taken out. They're worried about money not coming towards them, more money not coming towards them, or money being taken away from them, or whatever the fucking case is. But you have everything that you need for the rest of your life. You're set for life, bro. But you're worried about more money being taken away from you or money not coming towards you. That's how the rich are. The rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. That's how it's kind of been, but we're switching this around because it's not going to be that way anymore. Because basically the rich look after the rich. The poor look after the poor. That's what it's like. So what really needs to happen is that the money's in the wrong hands because it's in the hands of people that have had privilege and they, basically don't care much about the community, about their other people, about giving back and sharing their wealth. They just want to sit on their wealth. You know, that's why what's happening is that everything is going to be having a whole switch around. You're going to have a lot more people that come from the poor and poverty and survival, becoming wealthy, becoming rich. And those are going to be the people that came from the slums, that came from the trenches, that came from the projects, that came from the hood, bro. Those are going to be the ones that's going to start giving back to their communities, you know, giving back to their neighborhoods, you know, fixing up they fucked up neighborhoods where you got houses and apartments all boarded up. You got like, you know, fucking houses that's been burnt down, all this shit, just neighborhoods that's just been fucking destroyed. That used to have all this life living there, but is now destroyed and destitute because the city don't want to put no money into those low income cities or towns or suburbs or like whatever. Especially if you are in major cities. I'm in a major city. I'm in Chicago, okay? But yeah, it's just the poor people that make it rich are more likely to help others than the rich people because they want to keep their wealth. But poor people understand, like, we can all be rich if we all help each other. We all, like, you can't, like, give to everybody, of course, but it's like more of us can be wealthy, more of us can be rich. We can all share this wealth. We can all eat if we all just here's a little bit here, invest something into that. Here's a little bit here, invest into that. Find ways to invest. Find, like, it takes money to make money. Find ways to invest into things. Find ways to expand with what you have. So, yeah, it's just, I feel like they're just, the Assad sisters, back to them, circling back. I just feel like they're just in this like rude awakening. Like, I don't know if you call this like a fall from grace or whatever, but they're just in this point in their life where they're realizing that their white privilege is not going to get them out of the situation, and the fact that they want to fall back on the fact that they are half Arab, half Palestinian, and they're brown roots. I don't even think that's going to allow them to come out of this, and they won't be able to fall back on it. Like, this is where they have to acknowledge where they went wrong as people, as privileged people. And if you got to block them, maybe that's what's needed for them to wake up.